Have any of you ever been in a draft and noticed that the dock has some Pokemon that are in weird tiers that just shouldn't be in those tiers? Hell yeah. What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, bringing you yet another smokin' top 10 list. Today's video is all about finding value in a draft. People talk about it all the time, how this Pokemon was a steal for being a specific tier. My goal with this video is to show you that there is always value, and that you can find it anywhere you go. Before I get started, I want to give a big shout out to my boys in the Dream League for suggesting this topic, and to all you lovely ladies and gentlemen out there who clicked on this video. I love you. Like I said earlier, the goal is to find value, but since every league tiers differently, for now I'm just going to look at the most popular draft league on YouTube, the GBA. For each of the Pokemon I mentioned, I'll analyze them, and just for fun, I'll list a few heat sets that could potentially work in the right matchup. It's only me for a few of them, but don't kill me if I don't do it. If you do end up using that heat set, let me know. For those who like point style drafts, if you know a popular points league with a dock that I can analyze, I'll work on a video for that style too. Now let's get some criteria out of the way for this. I'm defining value as a Pokemon that provides more than what is expected from them in a given tier. That doesn't always mean I believe these Pokemon should move up a tier. More so that I believe they're really good in the specific tier that they're in. Assuming that you're using similar tiers, these are Pokemon that I believe should be picked up in your draft. Also, for this video, the order will be based on how much of a steal the Pokemon is, not how good the Pokemon is in itself. Meaning that a Pokemon in tier 5 that I see has tier 3 value could be higher on the list than a tier 3 Pokemon that I see has tier 2 value. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to let me know by liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to know when my next video goes live, make sure to smack the bell next to my name. I'm pretty sure that's there. Also, if we can reach 47 likes on the video, your boy will start working on a top 10 least valuable Pokemon. That's enough talking though. Let's get started with number 10. Lantern, tier 5. Currently in tier 5, Lantern provides a huge amount of options, even if its stats are really lackluster. The glue that holds its mediocre base 76 special defense and its garbage 58 physical defense together is its thick, juicy 125 base HP stat. Lantern has incredible typing of electric and water, being only weak to ground and grass. It has a decent amount of coverage options in moves like Ice Beam, Dazzling Gleam, Signal Beam, and Icy Wind. It even gets Sucker Punch to take advantage of its amazing base 58 attack. Lantern's glory is in its abilities though, and its support options of course. Immunities to both water or electric moves are heavily underrated and many times extremely valuable. Also for the tier it's in, it's an amazing cleric and a reliable slow Volt Switcher to get you into your offensive Pokemon without a problem. A pretty heat set for this thing would be a Life Orb agility set with Ice Beam, T-Bolt, Hydro Pump, and well, all that being said, in my eyes, Lantern is in tier 5, but it's one of the better Pokemon available, so I definitely think you should go pick it up. It has two types that are some of the most important in the format. It has amazing abilities, cleric options, and more. As a tier 5, it's one that doesn't hold your team back, but enhances it in so many ways. Moving on to number 9, Granville, tier 5. For the first time ever, I am seeing Granville in tier 5. I'll tell you all, to me, it should fit snugly into tier 4 for the following reasons: typing, ability, and move pool. In my eyes, pure fairy typing is without a doubt one of the top 5 types a Pokemon could want, and Intimidate could put so much defensive pressure on an opponent. Let's go over some of the things that Granville has. Immunity to one of the most spammable typings in the game, check. Deceptively bulky with Intimidate, check. Only one of 10 fairies with access to Play Rough, check. Looking at the rest of its move pool, how would you all want a Pokemon with 120 base attack and access to all of these moves? Body Slam, Close Combat, Crunch, Earthquake, Fire Punch, Heal Bell, Ice Punch, Low Kick, Outrage, Play Rough, Power Punch, Roar, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Thunder Punch, Wild Charge, Super Power, Super Fang, Taunt, and Counter. I just listed off 20 amazing moves, by the way. If you want a heat set, try a Quick Feet Toxcorp set with Facade, Play Rough, and whatever coverage moves you want. Not the most effective set, but in the format you never know what could happen. Maybe if it was in tier 4, Granville isn't taken, but in tier 5 it becomes one of the most valuable lower tier picks out there. Next up is number 8, Bruxish, tier 5. Another tier 5 that really doesn't belong there. Bruxish is a tier 4 Pokemon, plain and simple. It's the one Pokemon on this entire list that I wish I drafted more than any of the others. Water and Psychic are one of the best offensive stab typings in the game. Only 33 Pokemon resist the combination, including other Water and Psychic types. Of course, that's not all that makes a Pokemon. Its stats are placed in the right areas in my opinion. It has a decent attack stat of 105 with an ability that buffs it in Strongjaw. It has an underrated speed tier at base 92, and solid base 70s the rest of the way. It's not going to take many hits, but that's not its job. Its move pool takes advantage of its Strongjaw ability perfectly. It has Poison, Ice, and Psychic Fang, as well as Crunch, which are all boosted by Strongjaw. It has Liquidation for Stab, Aqua Jet for Priority, Taunt, Dual Screens, and Trick Room. Yeah, this thing gets Trick Room. It can also set up a Swords Dance or a Bulk Up. This thing is an absolute monster, and if I haven't convinced you that a fast, hard-hitting Pokemon with great coverage should be in tier 4, then I'm probably doing something wrong. Yeah, I may never win a beauty pageant, but tier 5 Bruxish is one hell of a steal. Moving on to number 7, we have our first Pokemon outside of tier 5, Shaman, tier 3. I'm only going to say this once. I don't like Shaman. I'm sorry, I said it. Just don't hate me, but even I can't deny the strength of this Pokemon. Shaman is a Pixie Pokemon, meaning it has base 100 stats across the board. It's also the only Pixie Pokemon that is below tier 2. Shaman may not get Stealth Rocks or U-Turn like Celebi, Jirachi, or Mew, and it can't sweep like Manaphy, but it has one of the best wall-breaking moves in the game, Seed Flare. For those of you who don't know, Seed Flare can lower the target's special defense stat by 2 stages. Overall, its stats are amazing. It has access to a lot of coverage in Air Slash, Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam, and Psychic, as well as support options with Tailwind, Leaf Seed, Healing Witch, Aromatherapy, and Synthesis. It's a great tier 3 Pokemon, and even though it has no form of special setup, it can still be extremely powerful. I'd say it's one of the better tier 3s available, and I value it as a tier 2 Pokemon. I still don't like this damn Hedgehog, but I'll take it if it's in tier 3. We dip back down to tier 5 for number 6, Vicavolt, tier 5. This one's gonna be short. Everyone's favorite bug electric type was placed in tier 5. I get that it's slow at base 45 speed, it has lackluster bulk, and not the greatest typing in the world, but it has 145 special attack stat. To put that in perspective, only 2 other Pokemon have at least 145 special attack stats, and are in Legends, UBs, or Megas. There's Ash Greninja and Chandelure. It also has by far the highest special attack stat in tier 5 and the second highest offensive stat overall. Only Slacking's attack stat is higher, and we all know why Slacking is in tier 5. Vicavolt also gets set up in agility. Just for information, after 1 agility, a modest max speed Vicavolt outspeeds a max speed Hawlucha. A timid max speed Vicavolt outspeeds a max speed Megalophony. It gets powerful moves in Air Slash, Bug Buzz, Energy Ball, Flash Cannon, T-Bolt, Volt Switch, even Solar Beam. There is no reason for Vicavolt being tier 5. We place X-Cloud in tier 4 when it's slightly bulkier, has worse attacking stats with no speed setup, but can run Boom Burst. Ooh, so great, Boom Burst. Meanwhile, Vicavolt is chilling in tier 5, looking for a Pokemon to rival it in value. At number 5, we have one of the favorites of Under the Radar, Linoone, tier 4. Why? Why is Linoone tier 4? Yeah, it really does only 2 or 3 things, being a Gluttony Belly Drum set, or Choice Bandit, or Facade Quick Feet. Really only the Belly Drum set is very viable, but the issue with that set was always, how do you touch Steel types? In Sun and Moon, you ran Shadow Claw for neutral damage. You can do around 50% or more to some Steels at +6. You weren't really gonna Oko them, but now you can, with Stomping Tantrum. Stomping Tantrum is a move tutor move available to Linoone in Generation 7's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. There is nothing standing in its way now. This thing can touch Steel types, it's really only walled by Celesteela, Skarmory, and a couple other Steel types here and there. You have no need to invest in a lot of speed for Linoone, because you're always running Extreme Speed. You just need the speed for Pokemon you aren't using Extreme Speed on, meaning you can be pretty bulky, well, as bulky as a Pokemon with Linoone stats can get, and at the same time you hit like a runaway freight train. Number 4, we have Araquanid in tier 4. Go back to the era of regular Sun and Moon, and I have no problem with that. In my eyes, Sticky Web makes it a mid-tier 3 Pokemon or an extremely high tier 4. Obviously with the addition of webs, that's not all it does. It makes an amazing Assault Vest user with moves like Liquidation, Leap's Life, Poison Jab, Crunch, Lunge, Facade, and Mirror Coat. Choice Bandit said is going to demolish a ton of Pokemon. Only 39 Pokemon resist its dual stabs of Bug and Water, and with 2 amazing abilities, it's hard not to look at this Pokemon as a huge threat. Water Bubble is one of the best signature abilities out there. It makes Araquanid immune to burn, resistant to fire, and making its Water type moves twice as powerful. Here we are into the top 3. Krookodile, tier 3. So I literally just drafted tier 3 Krookodile in P4G Next Generation, and honestly, if it was in tier 2, I would have waited another 2 rounds, but as a tier 3 Pokemon, it just does way too much. Scarf Moxie is honestly one of the scariest things in Draft League. It gets Intimidate, so it becomes a pretty effective defensive Pokemon, depending on the matchups of course. It has 2 immunities in Psychic and Electric, and it gets great support options with Stealth Rocks, Taunt, Knockoff, and Roar. It's got a good speed tier at 92, HP at 95, and with its powerful attacks, its base 117 physical attack becomes much more threatening. Let's take a look at some of those moves. We have EQ, Knockoff, Pursuit, Dragon Tail, Superpower, Aqua Tail, Fire Fang, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, and Shadow Claw, which are all powerful in their own right. Overall, Krook has too many options and does all those things really well. I just believe its home should be in tier 2. Zoroark, tier 4. What if I told you a Pokemon with 105 base attack and speed along with 120 base special attack, great typing, and a decent ability, Swords Dance and Nasty Plot priority, and a ton of coverage was in tier 4. Yeah, a tier 4 Zoroark is kind of insane. I see it a lot in tier 3 and it puts in a lot of work. Does it have the most variety in its sets? Not really. Usually it's just a physical or special sweeper or wall breaker. It does have that niche option of Illusion and Memento, but it's nothing crazy. My biggest reason for having this on this list is that it's just so strong for its tier. The combination of speed and offense is deadly, and its coverage is pretty good too. Psychic, Ghost, Dark, Fire, Poison, Grass, Fighting, and Flying coverage is pretty damn good. It's also a fast taunter, has access to Trick, U-Turn, and of course, Sucker Punch. If for some reason you can convince me that this thing should be in tier 4, other than convince me that it's always going to be drafted in that tier, I'll make a Zoroark wrap. And you guys have heard me sing, so trust me, you don't want that. Before we move on to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. Ditto in tier 4 and Golbat in tier 5. At this point, if you've been around my channel long enough, you know how much I love Ditto. It's great, it forces your opponent into tough prep, which is a huge part of the Draft League format. It has its weaknesses, of course. I think it should be in tier 3, but I'm not mad about it in tier 4. That just means I'll take it again. As for Golbat, the EV kinda holds it back from doing anything different, but Golbat is a very effective wall with Taunt, Roost, Defog, and a 100% accurate Toxic. I understand the tier 5 selection, but its support options alone means that Golbat has a lot of value. Here we are all the way to number 1, and trust me, this one is something I would take round 2 if it was in this tier. Silvally, tier 4. Base 95s all around, access to any individual type in the game, a ton of support options, and one of my favorite moves all time, Parting Shot. Silvally is in the same mold as Mew, where it has so many options, and finding the right one is usually a challenge. In Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, it can now learn Defog. Its coverage options are insane. I'll just start with the special ones for now. It has Air Slash, Draco Meteor, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Surf, T-Bolt, Tri-Attack, and Icy Wind. As for its physical moves, you got Crunch, Dragon Claw, Flame Charge, Multi-Attack, U-Turn, Pursuit, Zen Headbutt, Shadow Claw, Rock Slide, and Iron Head. Physically, it's not as diverse as the special move pool, but you have Swords Dance to boost your attack. The fact that your opponent never knows what skill value you can bring allows you to bring some interesting sets that can support your team every week. It's also a great knockoff absorber because the memories can't fall off. In my eyes, this is an amazing tier 2 Pokemon because of its versatility and its stats. It's one of the best support mons out there. Even in tier 3, it's such a great valuable Pokemon. Like I said before, in tier 4, I would like to grab this thing around 2 or 3, and I'd be happy with it all season long. Anyways, that's my list. If you like the video, make sure to let me know by liking the video and subscribing because I make new Pokemon content quite often. Also, comment which Pokemon you think are undervalued in the comment section below. And remember that this is my opinion. If you disagree, that's okay. I also have a Twitter account and a personal Discord server linked in the description. Anyways, be sure to like the video, subscribe to become a member of the Ocean, and check out some of my other awesome videos right here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.